Did you ever promise yourself that this week will be different? Monday comes. You open a new notebook. You organize your desk. You tell yourself, this is the week I finally get serious. But by Tuesday, something slips. You watch one video, then another, and suddenly, 3 hours are gone. Wednesday comes. Now you're already behind. Thursday. You stop checking the schedule. By Sunday night, you feel the same heavy thought again. Why do I keep doing this? If that sounds familiar, this story might change the way you see discipline forever. Because the problem might not be laziness. It might not even be motivation. It might be something far simpler. And once you understand it, everything changes. This is the story of a college student who struggled with something millions of students face. Not failure, but inconsistency. His name was Ethan. Ethan was a 20-year-old sophomore at a public university in Ohio. From the outside, his life looked completely normal. He had friends, a decent GPA, supportive parents. But inside, Ethan felt like he was constantly falling behind. Not because he wasn't smart. Everyone knew he was smart. In fact, people had been saying the same thing about him for years. Ethan has so much potential. Teachers said it in high school. His parents believed it. Even Ethan believed it. But there was always one sentence attached to that compliment. If only he were more consistent. And that one sentence followed him everywhere. In college, things became harder. Classes moved faster. Professors expected independence. No one reminded you to study. No one checked your homework. Suddenly, everything depended on self-discipline. And that was exactly what Ethan struggled with. Every Monday, he created a new plan. Color-coded schedules. Perfect study blocks. Detailed to-do lists. Looking at those pages, you would think he was the most organized student on campus. But by Wednesday, the plan was already breaking apart. By Friday, it was completely gone. Instead of studying, Ethan would scroll through social media, watch random videos, text friends. He always told himself the same thing. I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow kept moving. His roommate Lucas noticed. Lucas was an engineering major. Quiet. Focused. Disciplined. Every evening around 7 p.m., Lucas sat at his desk and studied. Not dramatically. Not intensely. Just calmly. 1 hour. Sometimes 2. Meanwhile, Ethan would be on his bed, watching videos on his phone. Sometimes he felt guilty. Sometimes he felt frustrated. But most of the time, he just avoided thinking about it. Every Sunday evening, his dad called. How are classes going, son? The question sounded casual. But Ethan knew it wasn't. His father worked long shifts at a logistics warehouse outside Chicago. Overtime. Late nights. For years. Partly to help pay for Ethan's college tuition. Classes are going good, Dad. Ethan always said. And every time he said it, he felt a small knot in his stomach. Because deep down, he knew the truth. He wasn't living up to the person he believed he could be. And that gap between who he wanted to be and who he actually was kept getting bigger. Then one day, something happened. Not dramatic, but powerful. Midterm exams arrived. One class worried Ethan the most. Economics. He had attended most lectures. He had the slides. For days before the test, he started studying. But those 4 days were messy, distracted, unfocused. He would study for 20 minutes, then check his phone, watch a video, reply to messages, start again, stop again. The night before the exam, he stayed up until 2 a.m., trying to catch up. The next morning, he walked into the exam hall, sat down, turned over the paper, and immediately felt the problem. He recognized the topics, but his brain couldn't organize the answers. 2 questions remained almost blank. 2 weeks later, the results came back. He passed, but barely. Bottom quarter of the class. That evening, he received a short email from his academic advisor. We recommend reflecting on your study habits before final exams. Ethan stared at the screen. For a long time, he wasn't angry. He wasn't shocked. He just felt tired. Tired of repeating the same cycle. Tired of promising change and never seeing it happen. That night, instead of going back to his dorm, he walked to the campus library. Not to study, just to sit. The library was quiet. Rows of students, working silently. Some had been there when he arrived. 2 hours later, they were still there. Focused. Steady. Not stressed. Just working. An older man noticed Ethan, the university librarian. His name was Mr. Walker. Late 50s. Kind eyes. Calm voice. He walked over and placed a cup of water on Ethan's desk. Tough exam results? He asked. Ethan looked up. How did you know, Mr. Walker smiled. I've worked in this library for 22 years. I know that look. Ethan laughed softly. Then something unexpected happened. He started talking about the plans, the failed schedules, the frustration, the feeling that he was wasting his potential. Mr. Walker listened quietly. Then he reached for an old notebook on a nearby shelf. He opened it and slid it across the table. Read the first page. Ethan looked down. The entry was dated 22 years earlier. It said, read for 30 minutes. Finished chapter 1. Stopped when I said I would. He flipped the page. Another day. Same note. Another page. Same thing. Day after day. For years. Mr. Walker leaned forward. Do you know how ships stay tied to a harbor dock? Ethan shook his head. Not with one giant chain. With a rope. And that rope is made from hundreds of thin threads. One thread breaks easily, but twist hundreds together, and they can hold a ship weighing thousands of tons. He tapped the notebook. Discipline works the same way. It isn't motivation. It isn't a big burst of effort. It's a rope, built one thread at a time, every day. Then he wrote 3 lines on a piece of paper. Thread 1. A fixed study time. Not when you feel ready. The same hour every day. Thread 2. A small promise. 1 hour. Not 3. Not 4. Just 1. Thread 3. Track the streak. Mark every session. Don't break the chain. Ethan looked at the paper. That's it? Mr. Walker nodded. That's the entire system. The only question is, will you do it? On the days you don't feel like it? Because those are the days. The rope gets stronger. That night, Ethan made one decision. Every evening, 7 p.m. 1 hour. No exceptions. The first week felt boring. Not exciting. Not motivating. Just ordinary. But he kept showing up. Day after day. By week 3, something strange happened. 7 p.m. started feeling normal. Like dinner time. Or bedtime. It was simply what he did. By week 5, his understanding improved. Not dramatically, but steadily. Concepts started connecting. Assignments got easier. By the end of the semester, Ethan walked into his final exams, feeling something new. Not motivation. Not excitement. Just quiet confidence. And when the results came back, he had moved into the top third of his class. Not perfect, but real progress. Built thread by thread. Day by day. And the biggest lesson: discipline isn't a powerful feeling. It's a quiet structure. One small promise. Kept every day. So if you're struggling right now, here's where to start. Choose one subject. Pick one fixed time. Study for 45 minutes. And mark the day. Then come back tomorrow. And add another thread. Because the future you want isn't built in one big moment. It's built one quiet day at a time. Show up today. That's enough.